I thoroughly believe that all teachers want to get better. I absolutely believe that. Where I believe we've made a mistake in some of the PD that we offer is that we show them the fantastic expert teacher. And I've been at PDs and I've seen teachers go, I can't do that. It's too much. It's too big a leap for me. And I think it's really important that we always bear that in mind. And I think what the PLCs do when using the smart borrowing is it gives people the chance within their teams to be able to see how other people do it. And, you know, and within the groups, you have all different levels of practice depending on what the focus is. And so you may think I'm not that great, but there's actually someone who's looking at you thinking, hey, I'd like to know how you do that. So therefore there's that little bit of a flow-on effect, which I think is really important. To introduce this, I had 2 teachers come up to me straight after that first staff meeting. They said, there's no way in hell I'm going to share a video with anyone. Okay? I said, that's fine. You don't have to share it, but you have to make one. And that's the first fantastic thing about smart borrowing, because even if you don't share it, I've got a teacher about a year from retirement who said to me, it's the first time I've ever seen myself teach. You know, and Peter mentioned the golf professional and the footy professional and the surgeons who videotape themselves. I mean, it is common practice among a lot of professional people to be able to analyse what it is that you do. And so those teachers, and I'm glad to say that every teacher has shared a video with their PLC, but those teachers didn't the first time. The reality is, you know, everyone's going to go, oh, my hair looks terrible, I look fat and that colour's no good, and that's fine. Of all the complaints I've had about PLCs, and I haven't had a lot, they've all been the same thing. It's been our own insecurities around us being on video. No one's come to me, oh, I don't want to share my practice with anyone. And I know that we've had a couple of teachers who've walked away and said, gone from I'm never going to share to approaching a colleague that they trust and saying, can I share it with you? To then sharing it with a PLC. So I think what it does is it just gives people an option to dial in at their level that they're ready to. Everyone gauges how far they can go with someone and where they're at that particular stage. And we haven't had anybody make any comment, or I certainly haven't had anything come back to me about people saying, oh, you know, I just found that, you know, too confronting and that sort of thing. And you've got to be careful. We don't want it to be too comfortable, but you've got to start, and it takes a while to build up. But we're probably realistically 5 proper sharing sessions into PLCs using smart borrowing, and I reckon we've probably done 2 years' work in that time, because that's how fast we've been able to dig deep with that. This has been a real learning experience for me, because I've had to let go. I've had to really trust the PLCs to do their own thing. And that's a little bit scary sometimes, and sometimes I know in reflection, I'm talking to Peter, I get a bit nervous, I go, I don't really know where this is going, but you know what, that's okay, because it's not about me, it's actually about the teachers in the school and about how they're going to focus on their pedagogy and make a difference for kids.